Hear me? Can you see me?
We can now, yes, both of those.
I apologize. I am going to be 15 seconds over, so I'm sorry. And it's going to sound dispirited and mean, but I've been waiting, so I'm sorry in advance, okay? Hello, my name is Addie Smith. Today is October 8th, 2025. I'm speaking before the Portland City Council. I signed up to speak in July of 2025 for the next City Council meeting. It is October. This needs to change. I've said this before. If it doesn't change and voters have to continue to wait 3 months to speak to City Council, we will vote you out. This is intentional. It should not take 3 months to speak. Anyone signing up should be able to speak each week. I will be pivoting several times during this address. First, where did the $750 million go that was supposed to be used to fight homelessness in Portland? How much of that was used to help with rental assistance to keep people in their homes in Portland and Multnomah County? Where is the budget? I would like to review the variance report. I'd like someone, oh my God. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. I'd like to review the variance report. I'd like someone to email this information to me. Second, there is a reason Governor Kotex is saying that we don't need Trump to send troops to Oregon. It's because the Democrat-led state legislature and the governors are doing the same thing to Black and brown people that these troops would do. In silence, Biden and Obama deported just as many people as Trump. Black people represent 1.7% of Oregon's population, but 9% incarceration rate. This doesn't mean we're guilty of anything. This is systemic and structural racism. The Democrats like their racism in hateful, deceptive silence, like a wolf in sheep's clothing. They like to attack you when you're not watching. Then they use their police and courts to make you disappear. But they don't like Trump's loud, vulgar racism. It's not classy and dignified. Third, Governor Kotek has appointed racist judges to the bench like Michael Riedel and Elizabeth Lemoyne. Riedel grants motions when defendants haven't been served at all. Never mind quote unquote proper service for court. I mean not served for court at all. Lemoyne grants motions when defendants don't have an attorney present at status hearings and trials. Former Governor Kitzhaber appointed Judge Ricardo Benchaca, and like Nick Fuentes, he is a vicious, disgusting, lying, untrustworthy, violating, vile, white assimilating racist. Kate Brown appointed Judge Eric Boucher, who is so racist and white supremacist that Washington County is being sued because he and the deputies in his courtroom discriminate against the Black attorneys that come in there to represent their clients. The Democrats endorsed Sheriff Caprice Massey. This white woman is married to a Black man, and I can only assume that she is not racist at home, but when she leaves just that door, she turns into Caroline Levitt and Stephen Miller. Judge Monica Horantz and Judge Mark Peterson are judges in Multnomah County Circuit Court. They are violating housing laws. People facing eviction are being discriminated against, and their rights under the law are being violated by these judges. I'm almost done. They both need to be voted out of office. Democrat governors are appointing these racists to office, and their targets are Black and brown people. The Oregon State Legislature with Ben Bowman, Julie Fahey, and others is a failure. Black people are not considered at all in any of their legislation. Almost done. I will let Trump burn his country down. He's well on his way. I will not vote for Democrats who support Israel, full stop. I will not support Democrats who refuse to write legislation that stops violence against Black people. Fourth and final for now, Sergeant's Towing is stealing cars that belong to Black and brown people. They are targeting our neighborhoods. Sergeant's Towing
Thank you, Addie.
Shut down.
Thank you, Councilor Ryan, for bringing this forward. As I'm sure you recall during the budget season, and as you announced, you had unanimous support on your amendment to support small businesses. And as a socialist that believes in using government funding to support people, you know, I love doing that for businesses too.
Okay, hi, I'm Stephen Cook from Vinyl Resting Place. My shop has been open for 28 years now. And I'm looking at, if I don't have a successful holiday season, I'm going to relocate. I'm going to be one of those next stores that would be gone from Portland. I mentioned this because it was mentioned about Portland's reputation. I was voted one of the top 3 record stores and also used as a Jeopardy clue. But meanwhile, just in the past year, in 1 year, and I need to point out my shop is directly across from an elementary school. Had 2 burglaries in a week, and me and another business owner had to chase down the guy ourselves because the police weren't going to come out. And eventually we waved down an officer and they made the arrest. I've replaced a total of 9 windows, 3 locks from attempted break-ins. I've been spit on, been punched twice, once resulting in a black eye. I had a man masturbating in my window. I've had a gun pulled on me twice. Once was last week. I had a knife pulled on me, and also I've had a customer tell me that the same person did it to them on a different time. I've been followed home twice. Once resulted in an attack where I had to fight the person off. I've had to cancel events due to people having mental breakdowns in front of my shop and scaring off people. I've witnessed drug deals, which I have on camera, right in front of my shop. At this point, my credit cards are maxed, my loans are maxed. And I'm one of those businesses where I haven't paid your taxes because I can't afford it. And as far as the grants, I've applied and was turned down because the invoices from the contractors didn't meet the requirements, which is something I can't control. I have nothing to do with the way they write an invoice. The last thing I'll say is that the whole thing always comes up about, whether it's an emergency or not. And I feel like when I'm found dead in my shop, then I'm going to be like, I told you so. These are emergencies. It's a ticking time bomb.
Good morning. I could say ditto to everything that Stephen just said in regards to my business. My name is Karen G. Ray, owner of Stadium Superette, member of Stadium Hood, and I am in District 4. Yesterday, I spoke at the Homeless Committee meeting, and just soon after that, I went to my store to work some. And hello, am I still talking or no?
You are. Somebody was inadvertently off mute, but please go ahead.
Okay, sorry. I witnessed a shoplifter in my store, went to go get my item back, and he ended up assaulting me as he was leaving the store with my stolen item. I did call 911 and had to follow the man until police were able to catch up to us and arrest him. My arm now is injured. I have been icing it since last night, and I have his arraignment today, which I will be speaking at. But this is just it's seriously ongoing. And I think that this resolution, this committee is going to be super helpful for us. But I also feel like that we need more resources to apprehend these criminals that are walking around on our street. And I know the judicial system is not your guys' fault, but you have voices more important than our voices that potentially could be talking to the county and telling the county, and especially JVP, that she needs to step up her programs to help the community as well, because it's not all the city's fault. The county is responsible for these people, for the homeless, for the criminals, for the justice system. And we can't do it alone. I'm not a police officer, but to hell with these people coming into my store thinking that they could steal or damage or whatever and get away with it, because I won't let them get away with it. So, and I'm going to say it again to Councilor Ryan, I want to be involved in this program from the get-go. I will volunteer all my time, as much time as I can, to get this program up and running. But we need to save our businesses, because it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. So thank you for listening.
John Blumenauer. Good morning. I'm pleased to speak today in strong support of the Storefront Support Program. Thank you, Councilor Ryan, for your leadership on this issue, and for other councilors I've had a chance to meet recently to listen to the challenges that small businesses are facing across our city. For those I haven't met, my name is John Blumenauer, and I own The Joinery. For over 40 years, The Joinery has created handcrafted furniture that's here for good. Here for good is a reference to the exceptional quality and lifetime warranty on our furniture, and it's also a reference to our business practices. We operate with a deep commitment to our employees, to community engagement, and to environmental performance. And as a certified B Corp since 2010, we walk the walk. We are a model of responsible business. I've made a deep commitment to Portland, locating our manufacturing facility in the underserved community of St. John's and activating long vacant retail storefronts in the heart of the city, investing hundreds of thousands of dollars in the process in property improvements, which has added tremendous value. But we have paid a heavy price for that commitment. Our business has been devastated by the epidemics of homelessness, drug abuse, mental illness, and lawlessness, leading to a climate of fear that hurts our entire community. This has decimated our customer foot traffic, which is the lifeblood of our business. Over the most recent 5-year period, from 2020 to 2024, our foot traffic has dropped by 84%, an astronomical number compared to the previous 5-year period. That's 65,000 fewer customer visits. And there is a straight line from a massive drop in foot traffic to a massive drop in revenue to a massive drop in employment. We've lost over 35% of our jobs compared to pre-COVID levels. And our team that's still with us pays a heavy price. For the first time this year, I'm unable to give annual wage increases. And our entire team of skilled woodworkers, which make up over half of our team, are on the Oregon Work Share program with their hours reduced by up to 50%. and yet they stick with us. More than half of our employees have been with us for at least 8 years, drawn by the purpose and meaning our work provides. They're here for more than a paycheck, but they need a paycheck too. The city's long-term instability causes stress, uncertainty, and significant financial burden. And while they've suffered, new duties have been added to respond to the daily reality of working in Portland. They must deal with and report campers, theft, and vandalism, drug use, drug overdoses, and drug deals, trespassing, threatening behavior from people brandishing weapons. They must manage the cleanup of drug paraphernalia, feces, urine, and vomit, and repair damage caused by vandalism and graffiti. These are not the jobs they signed up for. They spend time addressing these challenges, which detracts from running our business, and it frightens customers away. Thank you for your time.
That's my father. Hey, George Escobar. My father owns Milo City Cafe in Northeast Broadway. Yeah, we just been dealing with a few incidents in the past couple years, homeless, people breaking in, things like that, where it's been really difficult to stay open, and we're just asking for help.
Yeah, the thing is, I would like to know if you get the law, it can be a little more tough. Because the people break in my restaurant 5 times already. And I call the police department, and police show up, and I ask to the officer, and he told me if he caught who's inside the restaurant, it's going to be to 24 to 72 hours, and after I had to release. And he said, so he make a mess, I had to pay for my pocket because the insurance cost me more money to fix it, whatever they do in my business. And I'm not talking for myself, it's all Broadway. Every single restaurant, every single business, they have the same problem. And my question is why the law can be a little more tough. They say it has to be some amount of money to be called crime. And I think it's not fair for business. And I hear you have $100,000 to replace glasses, door, or whatever vandalism is. That money can use it more for make focus on the law. We use the money for hospital, police department, better salary, and they don't use the money for replace whatever they make a mess. And they will say, we need every single small business owner, we need help because there's a lot of people go in the restaurant, make a mess. And I think it's not fair. We need to survive our business. We want to Portland like I used to, peaceful, safe, and beautiful. Not anymore. And I know you can do it, guys. It's on your hands. You can do that better for every single one. It's the only thing I can say. Thank you.
Okay, hi, good morning. My name is Justin Youngers. I'd like to thank Dan Ryan for bringing this resolution to the table. My wife Bianca and I opened Bink's Bar on Northeast Alberta Street in 2001. We've seen a lot of changes, but the security situation is worse now than it's ever been. Serious neighborhood issues, street parties, drinking and smoking on the street, booming music, drunken street racing, domestic violence, sexual assaults, arguing, flashing guns, and sometimes shooting them, harassing, intimidating, scaring off our patrons, hospitalizing our patrons multiple times. And these troublemakers are not our customers. They are just people on the street. It's just a scene in the neighborhood on a Friday and Saturday night. My bartenders have been punched, spit on, robbed at gunpoint, called every name in the book, trying to control the scene. It's scary for me and my staff because the helpers themselves are getting stabbed to death. There's an article in today's Willamette Week about a fellow Alberta Street bar owner getting killed. How am I jealous? Trying to help down at Dawson Park. So what we've had to do is hire lawyers, security consultants, doormen, all to navigate the maze that city is right now to the tune of $10,000 a month alone. These bills are not something that we had a year ago or 2 years ago. They're new. We need more police. We need more police. That's just true. Remember all the talk in recent years about how we can't expect one police officer to be an expert in not only law enforcement, but in mental health crises and social work for the homeless. We can't expect police officers to be drug counselors, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, what is happening right now is that stuff has just been outsourced to the small business owner, and we can't expect that of the city police, but we are sure as heck expecting it of every small business owner in this city. And I don't know where we're headed as a society when all these problems are forcing small businesses out, but wherever it is, I'm taking my taxes with me. I suppose that's obvious, but it matters when there's 2,000 other liquor licenses in the city. And unless something actually changes here, the tidal wave of businesses leaving will continue until there are only those who can't leave. All the things we're doing, like spending that money, I want you to know that I can't do them permanently. It's just not worth it. Small businesses need help. I'm doing these things temporarily because I believe that the city will get its head screwed on straight. I want to be part of the rebirth of this city, and I'm doing them because I don't want to leave Portland worse off than when I found it. We need to make safety and security a priority. We had a brawl inside the bar recently. A group that terrorizes us came in. I didn't even serve them, and they came in, and I showed the footage of an attempted murder to the police and got no response. So after that, I don't want to hear that
this is important, but we do need you to wrap up. I'm sorry.
Okay, I just want to know that the city cares. That's what this is about. Show us you care, please. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
Good morning, City Council members. My name is Bianca Youngers. My husband and I have banks on Alberta. We've had it for 25 years. We've raised our 3 children here. We've built deep roots. We've poured everything we have into this city. And I'm here today because of the first time in a long time, I feel a small ray of hope in Councilman Dan Ryan. And his proposal gives me a reason to believe that change is still possible. So please, please consider this. We have to pass this program. And I have to be honest, I have never felt so unsafe in this city. A few months ago at our bar, there's a group of people that will descend. We have to shut down all the time, 45 people. 2 women in the group started breaking glass in our bar, stabbing each other. Our bartender called us. We pulled up the security cameras live. She was screaming. Blood splattered on the security cameras. The police came, no name was taken, no report, no accountability. And it's not an isolated incident. We've had people that have been 86, they come back with guns in hand, standing a foot off of our sidewalk for hours every single weekend. Every single weekend. Our staff is terrified. We've endured break-ins, vandalism. We've been held up by gunpoint. And it feels like no one is coming. What is going to happen? How is this acceptable? We need more trained police officers. We need them, like a ton. We are small business owners. We are the heartbeat of Portland, and we are hanging on by a thread. And at the same time, I am trying to grow my art business, something that brings me joy and hope. I spent months trying to lease a studio downtown, and it's unbelievably affordable. 75 cents, $1 a square foot, and everyone said the same thing to me. I tried to bring other artists on. No, it's too dangerous. We're not going. We're not going to do it. And landlords were begging us to sign in. I finally took a space, and within weeks, all I see is the coffee shop leaving. Everybody's leaving. I'm like, where are you going? We're leaving Portland. We're out of here. And Councilman Ryan has shown us that he's willing to ask, and I am begging for that same urgency and courage from all of you. This isn't abstract. This is seriously life or death. For our employees, for our customers, for my family. If my husband or one of our bartenders ends up killed, or a customer, who is going to be accountable for this? For the first time, we are seriously talking about leaving Portland, selling the building we own, a legacy we have hoped to pass to our children. But at this point, I don't even know if we could sell it. I mean, nobody can sell commercial property right now. It's ridiculous. This is not politics. This is an emergency. We are out of time. We needed help yesterday. You have to pass this program. You have to stop giving us cards, giving us lip service, telling us that, I'm sorry, ICE is here. We need help or we are going to die.
Councilors, Dan Ryan, thank you so much for your leadership on this. I'm Brian Owendoff, live and work in District 4, very heavily involved in retail in downtown Portland since 2008. In 2019, Portland had one of the lowest retail vacancies in the nation, just at 2.9%. Today, the figure has climbed to 8%, the highest vacancy rate of any submarket in the greater Portland area, per data from CoStar. This sharp rise in vacancies is driven by multiple challenges. Office occupancy is still just 59% of pre-pandemic levels. Tourism has not fully recovered. Ongoing safety concerns and open drug use continue to deter both visitors and potential tenants. We just heard from several people, real life situations. While it's encouraging the downtown Portland clean and safe, reported record post-pandemic foot traffic this summer, the number of office workers downtown remains significantly lower than pre-pandemic levels. From January through August, foot traffic downtown was just 70% of pre-pandemic levels. Fewer office workers means fewer customers for downtown retailers and restaurants are all feeling the squeeze. If we want to revitalize Portland's economy, we must start at street level. Welcome, active, and safe storefronts are essential to rebuilding community, restoring pride, and creating vibrant public spaces. Portland needs a bold, coordinated, strategic plan. Incentivize return to office, even on a hybrid basis. Support small businesses and retail tenants with resources and flexibility. Invest in public safety, cleanliness, and vibrancy downtown. We simply don't have enough police. In the private sector, we are spending tons on private security, and if it went away, it's the equivalent to losing almost 200 officers. Reimagine urban planning around the new reality of hybrid work. create living wage jobs. We don't have a housing crisis in the city. We have a crisis of not having enough jobs to afford to live here. We have 25,000 vacant apartment units right now in Portland. This is not a temporary dip we're facing, potentially permanent structural shifts in our downtown economy. Without decisive action, we risk a smaller, less dynamic urban core. That's why I fully support this resolution to develop a storefront activation program. It's a critical first step in what must be a long-term commitment effort to revitalize our urban core. There is not a thriving region in this country with a dead or dying downtown. Let's ensure Portland isn't the exception. Thank you for your time, leadership, and service. I'm ready and willing to assist however I can, creating real, lasting solutions to drive Portland's economic comeback. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Charles Froelich. I own and run Froelich Gallery on Northwest Davis Street at the corner of Northwest Broadway in District 4, and I live in District 3. I opened my gallery in 1995, and this month is my 30th anniversary. Please vote on Councilor Ryan's storefront support proposal. I support it wholeheartedly. I hope you will enact it with thorough and expedited urgency. My gallery is a commercial for-profit business whose operating budget is entirely covered by art sales revenue, not grants. My business has always been located in downtown Portland. Every locally owned business has a strong beneficial economic impact on the region, and every loss of business is also significant. The losses are mounting and have been ignored for way too long. We are now at a tipping point. People can go anywhere to find a chain restaurant or retail. Locally owned businesses used to be the main attraction for Portland, but these days they are a rarity. The climate to run a business in Portland has become increasingly difficult, especially during the past 5 years. Please ask the locally owned businesses what they need to help bring activity, vibrancy, and commerce back, and make it happen. I've got a long list of constructive ideas to share, so please keep me posted. Number one on the list is safety downtown. When storefronts prosper, they invest and reinvest in the community. City Council can and must improve the business climate, or it will continue to decline. We must work together to support the local businesses. They're the backbone of our regional economy. Special request to the mayor, City Council, PBOT administrator, please reduce the parking rates. The recent increases did the opposite of supporting downtown business, and they discourage people from visiting. I'm grateful to have had my business here for 30 years, and I want to keep my business in Portland, but I'm seriously considering moving it out of Multnomah County. I live in District 3, and I want to continue living there, but it will be difficult if the city, county, and state do not return to a balanced course of common sense policies that foster a healthy business environment. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tony Birch. I own a local chain of dispensaries with 4 locations in downtown, 2 in Southeast, and several others outside of Portland. The amount of illegal and unsafe behavior we have to deal with on a daily basis at our Portland locations is unacceptable. I simply don't understand how the city has become numb to this idea of Portland really isn't that bad. As a local business owner with my time, I'm going to give a few examples of what apparently is really not that bad. Most recently, once the Oasis Day Camp has opened on Northwest Broadway, the already rampant crime from the nearby TPI shelter has gone through the roof. Despite Mayor Wilson's assurance that shelters, quote, create safer neighborhoods, several weeks ago, a homeless man came in. We asked him for his ID, which is required by law. He then threw a fit, smashed a glass display case, and then once our staff got him to exit the store, he then threw a rock through our window, which we average over 3 broken windows per year per location of our Portland locations, always from homeless people, which we were discussing repair funds a minute ago before public testament. And I want to point out that being that we're in the cannabis industry, we are not eligible for any of these repair funds, and window replacements range from $750 to $3,000 per window. At the same Northwest Broadway location, earlier this year, a heavily drug-affected man entered demanding a cigarette. When we asked him to leave, he then pulled a machete on our staff member. Police reports can confirm this incident. Do you think this behavior makes our staff and customers feel safe? Now we must address the apparent normalization of public drug use. It is unacceptable that we as a city are tolerant to open public drug use and open displays of severe intoxication. Walking down major streets like Broadway or Burnside means encountering countless people engaged in this illegal behavior. This environment directly undermines any effort to encourage tourism or public confidence around walking around the city. And while we appreciate the efforts of Clean and Safe, this organization is often reduced to glorified whistleblowers. We have seen multiple times where personnel will walk right by illegal behavior or dangerous behavior repeatedly. Now, also, in a city that has some of the most egregiously high tax rates in the country, how is it that business owners have to pay extra for the clean and safe service? Which this ultimately means cleanliness and safety is not an included public outcome from these insanely high taxes. Now, I will quickly rattle off a few other regular occurrences that are apparently not that bad. Never-ending graffiti, trash cans caught on fire, trash cans stolen so many times we get charged for them by the garbage company, trash cans getting torn apart nearly every time we put them on the curb, constant aggressive panhandling, countless times people defecating on our building or private property, never-ending employee turnover from safety concerns, countless theft inside our building and outside our building. We average 10 snatching grams per year per location, and a car driving through the front of our store as part of a break-in twice. Now, that said, do we truly believe the narrative of it really isn't that bad is an accurate statement? Thank you.
Businesses, and as a socialist that believes in using government funding to support people, you know, I love doing that for businesses too.
MG music lifts us, a rallying plea.